Jackson rolling through the SWAT. Reppin' for the city, hear him in the parking lot. Houston written across the jersey, ain't gon' never stop. Just fans got me tuning in, waiting for the drop. Astros, Texas, Rockets, Dynamo, they coming with it. When they pull up, got the city sitting on a fitted. Straight up A-Leaf, hold it down, ain't gon' never quit it. Just fans got me tuning in, let my dogs get it. Southwest A-Leaf, Texas, throw down here and it's so infectious. We ride for the Houston Astros, Rockets, Dynamo, and them Texans.
How's it going, everybody? It's Carlos, your host of the Just Fans podcast, and I'm joined here, of course, by my most loyal co-host who shows up all the time, no matter if he's drunk or sober, Rios. Let him know what's up, bud.
Dude, I'm exhausted, man. I got off work. So I was supposed to get off at 4:30. I got off at 7. I'm exhausted, man. But this is giving me life. So
there you go. That's how you do it, man. It's nothing better than have a cold one after a long day's work, brother. That's how it is. And today we got a special guest, man. This guy, he's I'm telling you, one of these days that we're gonna see him in that Astros uniform playing down at Minute Maid Park. We got the one and only Colton Gordon in the house. How's it going, Colton?
What's up, guys, man? Happy to be here. Happy to be on the show. Glad to be here, man.
Hey, man, thanks. Thank you for coming on, brother.
Yes,
so, dude, I was talking to you a little bit off air, and I mentioned, I follow you on Instagram, and I saw a lot of posts of you just recently, really, of you in like the Dominican Republic, and there was like pictures of you just like exhausted, looking like Rios over here, all exhausted, but putting in the work, you know. So tell us a little bit. How was the experience of the Dominican Republic, bro?
Man, the DR was unreal. I was talking, like you said, I was talking to you off air, but my cousin got married there this off season, so was down there. And while I was down, Oli Paredes, my teammate in AAA, was like, "Man, you got to come see what we do, how we do it, like the way we live, how the lifestyle is," and it was a blast. And part of that was getting out to that field, playing catch, and went through some of his workouts. And man, they got you running back and forth and just nonstop for a good little 20, 30 minutes of conditioning. And it wears you out. And you're down there. But it was a blast. I got to go to the beach with him and hit the beach, work out, and just see what the DR was like from their perspective. And it was awesome.
That's awesome.
Man.
How much different is the training over there than like what you normally train here? Like,
I'd say it's not too different. I'd say the circumstances are different, right? I mean, it's everything to me from being from Florida, where I'm from. Like a lot of guys are walking to the field, and it's like they're working out on the beach, just barefoot, running in the sand, and some of it's simpler, but like just doing it at the rate they're doing it nonstop, that makes it hard. So it's kind of like simple, but also. I mean, sometimes you can't be hard and simple at the same time, as far as just hard work, fast, intense, but all you're doing is running on sand or going back and forth on the field.
Yeah, that life is a lot different than what we're accustomed, huh? It's just like you said, running barefoot in the sand. I mean, I imagine try doing that in Galveston.
Exactly.
you'll catch some type of infection in Galveston.
My foot.
That's when the zombie apocalypse starts.
Laying in the chair right here, just enjoying the scenery. Instead, we're actually like, this is just where they go every day, which is awesome.
That's awesome. That is amazing. That's awesome. So I got to tell you, what kind of what was your favorite type of meal that you got over there in the DR?
Some good plantains, and we had some plantains. Gotta have it simple. And then we had some, man. He lives on the beach over there, so we actually grilled out some lobster one night. And unbelievable. I'm telling you, like. From a Florida kid loving seafood, it was badass, man. It was so good.
It was different,
just unbelievable, fresh, right on the grill, little butter in a pan, perfect.
Ooh,
exactly.
Dang, now I'm hungry.
Right,
this weekend.
My normal Tuesday night. He's like, "This is just what we do. This is what we do." I'm like, "Yeah, love it."
Man.
Yeah, great. Now this weekend, babe, we're getting lobster this weekend. That's what we're doing.
we're going to Galveston. We're going fishing.
Oh God. Lobster, then diaper for some reason.
The lobster has 3 eyes.
Yeah, like the Simpsons fish or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh,
Like, why is the lobster green?
It's evolving. Shut up. No, man, that's awesome. So how has your experience been right now with like what are your expectations coming into this upcoming season, man? Do you see yourself like up going to the next level to the majors, or do you
Yeah,
think, hey, we got some like
no doubt. I mean, I think take it one day at a time. This offseason's been really good. Got to travel a little bit and enjoy that, and just trying to get better. This offseason get a little stronger, kind of make the pitches a little sharper, get a little more consistent mechanics, and yeah, I mean, simply the goal is to debut and be there and help out the team as much as possible. But it all starts with me just what I can, which is just getting better and pitching well, and let everything else kind of take care of itself when that happens. And
yeah.
I'm looking forward to being there, man. We have a great team, great
Oh,
club. Met a lot of the guys being in Sugarland, and I look forward to it. Whenever that time comes, man, I'm ready. I want to be there, and I'm stoked to do it. So,
yeah, honestly, I can see that happening, dude. It seems, from your stats or what. I was like, wow, you got some pretty decent stats. I could see it happening, and right now, you're at we saw a lot today. A lot of the arbitration, the news, the players, that were back that didn't go to arbitration, which was great. And then, I mean, you still, we love our Astros, obviously, but there are some needs especially in the pitching. In pitching that they need. So man, anytime I'm sure you might get the call. And I hope you do, brother.
Right.
And like you said, like I said, take it one day at a time and
yeah.
And got a lot of friends up there too, and it's going to be a great year. I'm looking for 2024 to be a good year all around.
Oh, yeah.
And we're looking forward to just enjoying it and doing the best I can every day, and letting it take care of itself.
I'm telling you, man, and what you were telling us right now, how you were working on your mechanics and all that stuff that you were telling us, dude. This is one of those things where I think every year, like, do you feel like this year you've made more adjustments that you have in previous years and working towards owning your craft, or how would you describe this year being different from previous years?
Just for me in pro ball, just my first healthy offseason. So I mean, that's like to an entirety of itself. But I mean, specifically, just like understanding the level that I finished at, which is AAA, and knowing that like it's just about fine tuning, like making sure some details are better, like you said, like I mentioned the mechanics, just like what specifically in that, and working on a handful of categories, and then letting everything else trying to take care of itself. Just going out there and competing and trying to win and help wherever I'm at, helping that team win and go from there.
Yeah, definitely. Is there a game like I saw there was some games that you had like 9 strikeouts and like or something like that in a game or something like that, just back to back. I was like, God, is there a game that sticks out to you in your head that you're like, that's the game that I know for sure, like I just complete balled out, that for sure that you left and you're like, this is a game that I want people to define me from? Do you have any of those?
I don't know if I've had it yet. I don't know.
Okay.
Tell you what, I know that sounds. Every time I pitch in the game, I'm like, oh, and personally, this is how I am. Like, could have done better here. Could have done better here. Look, granted, those games, you do really well. You're like, you go home that day and you're happy. You're like, let's go. Yeah. But in the moment of it, going to the next week, you're like, all right, got to get better for next week and the week after that, and maybe one day, a long time from now, hopefully I'll look back and be like, nah, that game was the things like that, but. As far as right now, I'm just still focused on just trying to get better every day, and I haven't even thought about it. Hopefully, like I said, I haven't played that game yet, honestly.
Oh yeah, definitely,
Nice.
man.
So as a pitcher, what's your favorite pitch to throw, man?
I love my fastball. I throw it 90-92, and I'm like, let's go. Left-handed.
There you go.
Got like fired in there, and I'm not a guy that throws crazy hard triple digits, but I have really good confidence in the way it moves and the way I throw it and kind of my perception of velocity, basically. And I love it. Just like, let's go. What do you got? My best pitch versus what you're hopefully putting your best swing on, and let's see what we got.
Nice.
I think that's the best part about baseball. Like, you see it and it's like a straight up challenge. Like, I got something, you got something for me. It's like settle it right on the
hitter versus me, and let's see what you got one time.
Yeah, I mean, we had Greinke out there at one point throwing a ball like at 47 miles an hour, and he still struck the guy out. So it ain't all about velocity. It's all about spin rate and just technique.
No doubt. It's about how the ball moves, how you're able to throw it, and how you know how to get that hitter out.
Yeah, it's all it is. Like I seen Maldi. Like I don't think he was in the. I remember they put him as a pitcher once. Not for the
Oh,
like.
I do.
Yeah,
I remember
he
that.
got, yeah, and do like he got a strike on one of those. I'm like, dude, and he was throwing like 70 or whatever it was. It like it's all about the technique, right? It's all it doesn't. It really doesn't matter at times what
Hey,
the
Yeah,
velocity is.
Molly has the spirit of Babe Ruth, hitter and pitcher.
There you go, man.
man.
How so okay, so go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying he's a good dude. Marty's a really good guy.
Oh man, how was your experience with
There.
Maldi? First of all, I was gonna ask you, how was your experience with Maldi?
Man, I haven't talked to him too much. I was cool. I interacted with him a little bit going through the World Baseball Classic. Honestly, more when we got down there, and that was pretty cool. And just a really good guy. I mean, all those guys are just easy to talk to, go up to, approach, just talk about baseball, what's going on, what they're working on, what we're working on, especially from the catcher standpoint, and or just say hey. And so I haven't interacted too much, obviously, but just easy to get along with, easy to talk to. And that's the nicest thing I should say is that that guy's accomplished a lot. That guy's a big time big leaguer, and for them to kind of, especially a couple previous years, be easy to go up to in spring training and just communicate with is awesome.
Yeah, no, I bet, dude. It was like I was telling Rios, we respect like the for the years that he was here, what Maldi left behind. Like a lot of people, I feel like I feel like it's underrated. Like his baseball IQ, his
up here, it's just top notch.
So much. It makes a pitcher's life way easier when you can trust that catcher, knowing that he's aware of what you're trying to do and has a game with you on how we're going to get this batter out, and you can really rely on him to have his thoughts and awareness behind what he's calling and not just putting down a pitch. Right, that makes a big difference. A lot of stress off our backs almost. Like, okay, like clearly Maldi knows what's going on. If he wants a fastball, okay. If I don't want a fastball, I got to think about really why not, because obviously he knows why. So things like that, it's cool. Really good.
Wow. Yeah. No, for sure. I'm like you said, I'm sure it's very helpful. Like it helps you kind of relax too while you're on the pitcher's mound too. Like, okay, we're communicating and all of that. Yeah. Have you ever had like, you don't have to name them right there. Have you ever had a catcher like where you're just completely not in sync? You're like, what? I'm confused at what you're asking me to do. How does that experience if you've had that before? Don't name names. Yeah.
Taking it back to college. Before pro ball, I was at a junior college, and I transferred from Florida. Long story short is I showed up and we had a game within like 3 weeks, and like we barely had 3 weeks to be on the team playing with each other. Like, all right, well, I know you, but I don't really know you. So
yeah,
it was more funny than anything. It was like, all right, we got to laughed a lot and got to know what I was trying to do, what they were trying to do, and it all worked out. But it's just a lot of communicating, just being like, hey man, we're all trying to accomplish the same thing. Like in baseball, at the end of the day, we're all trying to win. We're all on the same team. Everyone's trying to help each other. How can you help me? How can I help you? How can we all make this work to, at the end of the day, accomplish a bigger goal, which is just winning the game and winning a bunch of games in the entirety of a season. So
yeah, no, exactly. I was going to ask you. You mentioned the WBC. I believe if you went for Team Israel. You were part of Team Israel, right? So how was that? Was this your first one, or had you gone? Was this your first one, or you gone?
Yeah. So
how was that experience representing Team Israel?
Awesome. I think it'll help me so much going forward. It was, first of all, that was for me personally, but to represent Israel, being Jewish, representing them was awesome. But personally, to go into my career going forward, to pitch in a stadium in spring training last year with sold out, playing Puerto Rico with that kind of loud noise and 65 man. I mean, like, man, I talk about a playoff atmosphere. Like, I mean, guys walking around the locker room that have been there before was like, man, this is like bigger than the World Series. And for me to be there, knowing where I want to be going forward and how I want to help the Astros, that's a huge kind of little piece that I'm going to take with me and be like, okay, I've done that. I've been there. I've seen it. I felt it. My outing, I wanted to do better result-wise, no doubt. But to help me in my career was awesome. But to just see that environment was unbelievable.
So at that, I think I think you probably didn't get the results you expected on that on on that. I think there was a point. I don't want to bring it up because I want to. I think you like allowed like 4 runs or something like that at one point. How do you come back from like? How do you prepare yourself mentally to be like, okay, I need to move on or whatever to the next stage or whatever? Like whenever things don't go your way, how do you mentally prepare for that?
Yeah, I mean, what you prepare to do is the best you can, and I mean that the mental, physical, however it may be. Like, hey, but you want to put your best self out there when you pitch. I'll speak for all people beyond me, but specifically to me, going after that outing, like I'm super, super disappointed, but also upset, frustrated. I mean, look, like you don't go out there to have that performance, but at the same time, time passes, you get into season, right? You get going I was with Corpus to start, and you kind of take that as almost like I'm saying now, like a learning experience. And I'm going to take away what I learned from that and pitching execution and feeling that environment and where I was at. And knowing next time it's going to be better because of that, because I've been there, done that. I've felt it. I've been in a playoff atmosphere. And the next time when I'm there, I know things are going to happen that I didn't know before, or what things feel like, and you,
Oh, we can't hear you.
Yeah, one more. Sorry, Colton. I think you went off a little bit. Can you say something again? I think you went off on. I think you're talking, but then like it goes on and off. Hold on. Yeah. All right. Are you able to log back out and then log back in again using the same link? Yeah, I can't hear you at all. You can't hear me? Okay. Hold on. I'm gonna type it in the chat. 1 second. Technology.
Modern wonders or modern blunders?
Yeah, right. Okay, hold on. Can you log on? Oh well, he's not. Okay. Says device not connected. Okay, I'm sure he'll get back on. Dude, this isn't that awesome? Like, oh, there he is. Okay, here. Hey, can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you now.
There you go.
Oh, there you
yeah.
go.
So if it happens, I guess if it happens, if it happens, just you can always log back out and come back in.
I think that's. I just like exited that.
No, you're good. I'm sorry. You were talking about like dealing with that situation or whatnot. Like when you're up there and like it doesn't go your way. So how do you like mentally prepare for life?
Yeah, I think it's really as simple as like, I mean, you allow yourself to be upset by it for a little bit because at the end of the day, it matters. And I didn't want to go out there and pitch bad. But after the fact, you can't change it. And so long term, you take away what you can and learn from it and know that next time, because of that, I am going to be better because of I've been there before. That I mean, next time I throw in the WBC for Team Israel, it won't be my first time. It won't be my like if I pitch for the Astros when I debut for the Astros, it won't be my first time in a sold-out stadium. It won't be my first time in a big league stadium on any kind of stadium. Like I'll have felt that before, and that's from a personal standpoint a big positive. As far as that year with Team, obviously we had higher standards as a group, and that's probably the bigger frustration. It's not a personal how I didn't do good, but kind of letting down the team on you. Where like, hey, we're all working towards a bigger goal, and that's the part you kind of get over as time goes, and you learn what you can, and then you move on, and you know the next time around you'll be better because of it. And you leave it at that. That's how I kind of look at it.
There you go. I think at the end of the day, it feels like no matter what you do, you're like your own worst critic, you know? And so it's like
100%. I mean, that's me.
Always.
That's me to a T. I'm sure that's a lot of to a T. I mean, I'm by far my own worst critic. Where sometimes it's like I need to just stop. Like relax, like go sit outside for a little bit.
Yeah, like I get it. Like we're real. Like our careers. Like obviously this is what we do professionally, right? Obviously this is just us. So I know Rios. Like his job. He's a salesman. So
Right.
Carson. So I'm sure he's got to hone his craft. He's got his pitches. He's got whatever he has to do. Me, I teach kids, so I have to every day go in and plan what I'm going to say and how to say it. Because if I say something wrong, it can't. I'm not able to. The kid's going to be confused or whatever, right? So
Right.
It's all about that. But I feel it in that sense. And of course, I'm nowhere comparing my profession to what you do.
Yeah.
But in the sense of like, you are your worst critic.
You make a mistake, you kind of dwell on it a little bit. But you're like, hey, it's one. For me, for example, one customer talk to the next one, fix what I made, mistake I made in the other one, and don't repeat the same mistake.
Exactly. And you know what? And you hope to get to a certain point in baseball, right? To where like you get consistent enough to the mistakes become so little to where that's where you become really, really good at anything. Yes, right? If you're comparing teaching and your jobs or whatever you may have going on. So
Yeah, no doubt. So you mentioned, I gotta, and I've played for fun baseball, right? Like nothing, nothing nowhere
right.
near you guys. So my thing is like I can't even begin to imagine how much you've said, you've gone through the pressure of like, like the playoff atmosphere and things like that when you went to the WBC and played with some of the best guys there. Like, can you walk us through like when you're during a game and let's say game's on the line, you happen to be that guy that's pitching, dude? How intense is that pressure in your head? How do you block out that noise just when you're on that mound and you're just focusing on that particular pitch or whatnot? How walk us through that moment?
Yeah, I think you just focused on like the task at hand. As simple as that sounds, like you know who you're facing as far as whoever the batter is. I know what I'm really good at. I hopefully have an idea of what he's not so good at to a certain extent. And I'm trying to execute whatever pitch is called to the best of my ability and that's that and control what you can. And I think it takes practice. I think I practice it a lot, like whether I'm working out or playing catch or especially this offseason, throwing bullpens as I start to ramp back up here for spring training. Like you kind of just try to run yourself through that a little bit and take experiences, like you said, from places I've been and games I've played in, and that's how you do it. And you in the moment, you just really what can I control in that moment? Frankly, like I can control throwing the best pitch that is called for me, and that's like it. And so for me, I know a couple things how my body works. So just take a deep breath and allow that to happen, and then you put everything you can into that pitch. And if you execute it right, knowing that I feel confident enough that I'm better at doing that, good results happen. Whether it's a swing and miss, ground ball for an out, pop fly for an out, you just get the guy out and you move on.
There you go.
Nice.
So
going back to the WBC, what was your favorite memory from that?
Man, it was fun. Just meeting people. I mean, just Maldy was one. Met Maldy. Man. I mean, I obviously know Pena just from the Astros, but just seeing him around there, he was met John Cabrera. Oh man, legends. I mean, Javi Baez. And met him and just guys that have been around doing it, right? I mean, hopefully I'm there doing it, surrounded by these guys very soon. But to be able to experience that maybe a year before I was going to just have their experience, say hi to them. David Ortiz was awesome.
Oh,
That guy's
I would have fangirled with Ortiz, man. I would have fangirled.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you?
Big Poppy's hilarious, man, and just to be there in it and soak that up, especially looking back on it, is so cool. Because hopefully I'm playing against a lot of these guys really soon. So
yeah.
But it was so cool. It was so they got the cool thing is they have like in the tunnel in Miami in the stadium they have like a barbershop in there. Like a little so sick. And so a lot of these guys were in there getting a haircut before like the day before the series started. We had a little practice on the field in there and while I was like, oh what up? Saw Pena in there, so what up? That's where I met David in there and it was awesome.
Dude, the fact that you said there's a barber shop in there just like blew my mind right now. But what's funny is that it like you told me like you met Pena, you met all these, and the first thing I focused my ADD was like they have a barber shop in there.
That's where when I walked by, I did a double take. I was like, damn.
Have you ever seen that before? Like in a stadium, like barbershop? Was that first time?
First time for sure. Now,
wow.
I promise you that's not a double A. The double A haircut station chair in front of the sink, and then like your friend you up the right way. And
hey man, you gotta save up. Anything to save up $1, bro. Like
reminds me of those COVID haircuts. Yes, your brother, cutting your hair in front of the mirror.
Cut me like, all right, we're good. Cool. Kind of rock with that. Those were fun this year. Had a couple of those.
Yeah. Oh man. So that it seems like, dude, like you're like those are amazing experiences with the WBC and all that, and the fact that you got to meet some few people. one of the guys that I know that was in that thing was not let go. I'm sorry, he was in Corey Lee. Great guy. He went to Chicago, right? With like they did like a trade for Verlander. How were you guys? Were you guys pretty close? Since I know he was one of the catchers. Were you guys pretty close over there in AAA or no?
No, he was a little before me. I didn't beat him too much, but he was cool. I met training, good dude, awesome.
Yeah.
He was. I think he was part of a different deal than Verlander, but
oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
No, but he. I'm trying to think about how many. I really didn't really get to meet him too much. I know he never caught me. I know I talked to him a handful of times. Good dude, but yeah, I know he's a really nice guy. I got there. I actually got to AAA probably. I'm thinking about how long it was after. I think maybe the week after he got.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So it was right after.
Gotcha. Who has been? So I know you told us about Big Papi. You met him there in WBC. Who has been like the one baseball player that just kind of like starstruck you a little bit?
Oh man, I don't know. Let me think about that for a second. Give me a.
Where you were like this guy here, like I got to take a picture. I got to get something from this guy.
I'll go back to when I was a kid growing up. I think Carl Crawford. I grew up. I live probably 15 minutes from Tropicana Field in Florida. So I would go to a ton of Rays games growing up. So I'd say the one guy that was like Carl Crawford was legit, and him and David Price were two guys that like I remember getting their autograph growing up and being like, wow, all right, that was cool. And those are probably two guys I'd say that I was really like, wow, like growing up as a kid, just because of what they did for the Rays and what they meant for the Rays. And
yeah,
I was in the 2000, like the 2006 to 2008 to where they were really, really bad and then transitioned into a team that made it to the World Series is pretty cool.
So there we go. That makes sense. So you grew up, obviously growing up there, you grew up a Rays fan, like you said, right? You were a big Rays
fan. Yeah, no doubt. But obviously an Astros fan now. I mean, we're all.
Yeah.
Let's go get them.
Right at that point, it's like, nah. I'm riding or dying with my team right here.
Guys, come on, we're go.
Yeah, like bury me in the H now. No.
Yeah,
right.
No, but I grew up literally right around the corner, so it's just cool being able to go to school and go to a game middle of the week, which was awesome.
So I want to guide. So you mentioned that you're with the Astros now and stuff like that. So how can you guide us through that moment you got you were chosen to go to the Astros? How did that feel? That moment when you?
I was stoked. I was with my family. I wasn't sure. I'll be honest. I wasn't sure I was going to the Astros. I was sitting there going, "Man, it could be this team. It could be this team." And the Astros called, and I was so excited. And man, looking back on it now, I'm really lucky it was the Astros too, because of how much they've helped me come through TJ and the recovery process of that, and just learning how to become a better pitcher, right? I mean, teaching me from the analytical standpoint of how good they do at developing guys and stuff like that, and we're here. But running through that draft day, I was in a brace right off of TJ. I was sitting there with my dad and walking forth, and I had the computer up and phone rings, and literally a phone rang. The next pick was me to the Astros in the 8th round, and it was a dream come true, and the beginning of another dream at the same time. It was a pretty wild, awesome day. Super excited.
That's awesome.
That's how you do it, man. We've heard some draft stories here and there, and we always like hearing draft stories. We've had a few other players, not necessarily like Astros players or anything like that, but we've had like NFL players that told us some stories also. So I always love hearing like the draft stories, because I'm like,
but Coach Champs, that's the best draft story ever, man.
I mean, I think my big draft story was just really the uncertainty. I mean, I seriously going into the draft, it was like, I don't know what's going to happen. And so when the call came, it was just like, damn, it happened. It was really excitement and joy, because it was just like, wow, all right, here we go.
Did it sink in like immediately, or did it just progressively through the next couple of days? You're like, you really had to like, it finally hits you or something like that.
It took probably a day. It took probably that night and the next day. And I think I was literally at the beginning of my TJ program in a brace, and I was like, man, like we're doing it, and I wasn't sure. I knew I was in a place somewhere. I just wasn't sure where. And when it happened, it was pure just joy, the fact that I had an opportunity to do it. And then the next day, kind of sat in like, all right, like we're going to H-Town, like we're going to Houston, like like not.
Had you ever been before that? Had you ever like stepped foot in Houston before? Or was that your first?
One time growing up, my dad had a little work trip there. Went with him to Houston one time, and I didn't even get a chance to see like the whole. You know where I was? I was down at the trade. Where do all the trade shows go? What's that building called?
Oh, George R. Brown Convention Center.
George R. Brown.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Literally right there. And so I was right around that area. I remember there was a soccer game one night. We walked by it. I know that's right in that area.
Yeah, right around there.
Yeah. By Dynamo.
I was there for like a week, came back, the only time there, and then boom, there we go, right back to Houston that day. When I got drafted, I was like, all right, we're going back. And it was awesome. Got to Sugar Land this year and spent some time obviously in Sugar Land right outside of there in Houston, and I love it. I mean, I love Houston. It's just I want to get there and stay there.
I'm telling you, yeah, it'd be great to see you up in that uniform, brother. Like seriously, it'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, so you're in the Sugar Land area, obviously. We're actually not too far from there. So what is your coming into Houston? What's something, because we're big foodies, as you can tell. And so like as you can tell.
You know, it's funny, Carl. That was gonna be my next question. I was gonna ask you about food. Yeah.
Okay, so Houston, Houston, for those that don't know, Houston is very food oriented.
Was that? I need some recommendations.
Bro, we got you. Like straight up, we got you. All right. So, what has been something that you have enjoyed here in Houston since you've been here, like a food that you never would have imagined trying, that you just like, this is my thing now?
Tell you what, Raisin Cane's is off the chart. I know, like low. I'm like, that's way better than Chick-fil-A, but I'd say seriously, what I really like is like the pho, the pho.
Yeah,
the pho. Oh yeah,
the Vietnamese faces in the soup, and oof, I love that for a good lunch. And then I'm a foodie myself. I'll be honest with you. I like sushi. I like steak. I like, I mean, you name it, I'm down to try it. I think I probably have kind of tried it to a certain extent. So I need some recommendations on where to go.
Oh, we got you. Is there any particular food? All right, Rios and I go back and forth on this because he hates one of my takes. There's one food that I'm not a fan of, and it's like a curse to Houston. I am not a crawfish person.
Man, I can't.
I know everybody reacts the same way. I can't.
Well, in his defense, he's from California, so he doesn't. We don't claim him. We don't claim him.
I'm in on crawfish, first of all.
Right?
I can't. I
don't know if I'm going out of my way to get crawfish necessarily, but if we're like, hey, we're crawfish, I'm in there all day long.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. See, every time I say crawfish, I was like, guys, it's just not my thing, and I just stab people in the heart or something when I say that to them.
You do. It's an offense. As a Southerner, I'm offended.
Our coach in AA, Blue, our first base coach, is from Houston, and he's like, dude, you gotta have crawfish. He's like, you gotta have the crawfish. And I'm like, I was kind of like you first. I love it. I don't know. He's like, no. He's like, when we get to Houston, we're gonna make it happen. So I'm still waiting on that, but I got a little crawfish at some point. For sure.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, there's a lot of good places. Do you like? So we got there's. I don't know. How are you? Do you like tacos and stuff like that? Or no? Okay.
I need a taco spot, a sushi spot, a steak spot, and a pho. I think I got the pho down.
Yeah. Oh no, hold on. There's some areas over here in the the Bel Air area. For those of you that are out of town, Bel Air area here in Houston, Bel Air Boulevard area, not Bel Air, Texas part. There's so many places there, but we have a few like pho places that we kind of frequent there. So it's little Chinatown. That's where all like the good pho spots are, man.
I gotta my way over. I gotta make
taco places, we got a few of them on lock. One is I think one close to Minute Maid Park. One that I really like, and it's not promotion to them, it's just because I really like it. 100% taquito is a really good place to go. It's very the food is just delicious over there, and it's on like Greenway Plaza area, and so that one's Yeah,
in my opinion, the best taco spots are the ones in the hood. The food trucks on the hood. In the hood, those are the best tacos.
We're not trying to get we're not trying to get.
Hey, the taco trucks are the best. The ones where you're like, right, like
there you go.
They're always legit, man.
Yeah, man. No, for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna hit you up on some of those places and be like, hey, yeah, let's go try some taco. Let's go try some pho. See if you like them or whatnot. Yeah, we're gonna hit you up. Watch.
No, but for steak, Taste of Texas. Oh, I went there once last year for my sister's birthday. Oh man, I was in heaven.
All right, unreal. Let's do it. Taste of Texas.
Texas is a good one. Yeah, that's the one like 10, right, Rios?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over there by the marquee. Yeah, man, that was. Yeah. Thinking about making my mouth water. It was that good. Yeah. Like, that by far is the best thing I've ever had.
I love it.
Yeah. Tell you, see, it was like we go from baseball to food. that's what we're talking about. All right, now let's talk about drinks. What are you? Do you like liquor, or are you a beer person, or not much?
Really, basically tequila. I'll be honest, I don't drink too often. If we're going out, I'll have some tequila, but I'm not too much of a beer guy myself. I'll have a beer here and there maybe, but I'm not a crazy beer guy.
Gotcha.
That's funny. Yeah. I don't drink that much, but I drink tequila. Like just all casually, like, oh, just drink tequila. That's all.
Yeah, no, but some good tequila drink. I'm always in for a really good margarita. Maybe the taco shop. Maybe the taco. Good
those two. Yeah.
Yeah, man. You gotta have you gotta have some tequila. You gotta have some tequilas and margaritas, bro. Like that's legit. It's a must. You have to.
Got to.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Oh man, this is I like this. Food and beer, baseball. Like what else? That's the best things in life.
That's it, no doubt.
Yeah. All right. So let me see. So cool. Big, like you were saying, 2024, like this is the year. This is the year where, hey, we're doing what we can. We're working our mechanics. We're working basically to get to that next level. How like you feel, you worked on your mechanics, mentally you're prepared because you said earlier in the interview, hey, I've been in those playoff scenarios. So, you're just basically awaiting the call, right? This season. So I'm hoping this season for you. Literally, I'm just hoping this season for you. Yeah. And so, man,
better and more consistent, but we'll see when it happens. Like you said, I've been there, had some experiences, and just gotta get better. That's all. Keep getting better. That's all.
There you go. Yeah. How is your have you had much of a camaraderie with with Coach Espada now? That's now the coach of the Astros, or not much?
I think spring training will be really, really big. I haven't been down there yet, so still trying to finish up the off season. But I think when we all get to camp, we'll all get to meet him a little more and be around more. Obviously, me being on the minor league side last year, didn't get a chance as much, right? Just because we're doing one thing sometimes when they're doing another, and so this year's going to be a good year to meet him, and I'm excited. I'm super excited. I know he's a great guy. I've heard great things, and I look forward to meeting him down there. I haven't really got a chance to talk to him yet. I look forward to it.
Nice.
It'll be exciting, yeah, for sure. It'll be good.
I think Carl's screen is frozen.
Look at him.
I was like, man, he's being real serious. Like, it's not blinking. Wait a minute. Oh, he froze. Yeah, technical difficulties happen. So, so talk to me about your Tommy John. Like, I've never been in person that's had Tommy John surgery. Like, walk me through like the rehab process. Like, how does that go, man?
Man, every day, just like you get surgery, they retie a ligament on, kind of like, as crazy as that sounds, they kind of just take the old one out, tie in a new one, and you go through and just start with basically trying to open up your arm, get full extension, full range of motion, and then you go through some strengthening and stuff, and it's a full year process. So 1 full year, and you start with the process of like, can you, like I said, literally straighten your arm out, and then once you do that, you kind of just hold different holds, and then you gradually do like a 1 pound weight of something, and then you do like 2 pounds, 3 pounds, and just like you go over any injury, you kind of just progress, and you incorporate your first like throw at like 20 feet, you just like lob it over there, and then it just over a year and a half span progresses out to you being game ready again. and it's kind of a remarkable process, but they have it, so many guys go through it these days. They have it down to such a T as far as accomplish this simple milestone here, this one here, and then that as long as you kind of stay on that track when it comes to your year and a half point, you're good to go. And there you go.
Man.
So that's kind of
Yeah,
a review. That's the big. That's the 30-second version of that.
Yeah, 'cause I remember as a kid, growing up, and whenever a pitcher would get Tommy John, like that would be like, that'd be it for them. Like the ACL injuries used to be for like football and basketball, but now it's like the advances in medicine's just, 12 months, you're good to go. Like, damn,
it's and I mean, there's a lot of hard work that goes into it, like no doubt. Like every day, you did probably like an hour and a half of PT, and you worked with a physical therapist, and thank you to all of them. With the Astros, some are still there, some are not, but there was just a group of, coming off an injury when you're trying to do something at a high level takes more than just you. People go in there and they do soft tissue, and they'd help you write a plan and help you stick to a plan. And so just cool. Just really, really, really awesome, and appreciative of everyone else that helped me along with him. You got him over there. What's he got going on? Is he finding his way back in?
Yeah, it looks like his power went out. He's trying to come back in. Should have paid the bill. Not kidding.
Yeah, there you go.
I just asked because I tore my ACL, and I know for me it was a long process trying to get back to 100%.
No doubt, and it's very similar. ACL and your elbow with Tommy John, like that UCL is basically the ACL of your elbow, and so.
Okay.
I mean, that's like their comparison because it kind of keeps your elbow stabilized in place. And
hey, sorry guys, my for some reason my lights went out. I paid the bill. I swear to God, I paid the bill.
I went out over there.
He's running out of generator right now.
But my lights,
system.
yeah, there you go. No, that was so weird. Like I was doing my questioning, and then suddenly like the lights just started flickering here, and then just internet like when I was like, what just happened? And
so no, really Colton was talking, and I was like, man, Carl's just real serious. Like, yes,
like just freeze. I'm like, wait, wow, he's really freaking like paying attention to everything, which I never did because my ADD's usually
laser like focus, and then like, wait, no, the screen's frozen. Like, oh.
Yeah, sorry guys, that was weird. I don't know what.
No, we were just talking about the process of coming back from Tommy John, and he's compared to kind of like an ACL like injury because it's like the UCL is like the ACL of your elbow, like as stable as your elbow. And he's going to go over the process and how walk me through like the treatment because I've never met anyone that had Tommy John surgery before.
Right. Yeah. Oh man.
Like I was telling him, it just I mean, really simply, just takes time, and the combination of someone helping you kind of straighten out your arm, massage it, doing exercises, and build days on top of days, and you get through a couple milestones. And like I said, it sounded really simple, so I'll say it again: a year, you're throwing a baseball again, and you're good to go. And,
so how do you? So now so that's you bring up an interesting point. Like, it's how long did it take you? A year and what? A year and a half?
Year and a half ish.
So how do you? Man, how do you go back from that, dude? Like it's I can't like because you can't throw the ball for like a year and a half, obviously. So it's like, and you said so slow buildups, and then what else do you?
You basically don't throw a baseball at all for the first maybe like 10 months ish, 12 months, and then like your first throw, like there's literally like a lob at like 20 feet. That's day one, and then that little throw progresses over like 5 months 4 or 5 months into like a pitch on the mound, and then you develop into your pitch repertoire, right? Like fastball, curveball, cutter, slider, and then you work on that, and then you get cleared from there, and you're good to go again.
Go back, and just go back and.
Sometimes it's not as smooth as that. Like you get a little hiccup, and where you're like, oh man, that didn't feel right, or this happened, and maybe it's another month here, or maybe it's not just a week and part of the process, but you just kind of literally take everything one day at a time, try to get better, and that's it. That's all you can do. And you hope good things come from that. And most of the time it does, honestly.
Yeah, you know what's funny when you say like one day at a time. It's like you hear that so much in sports, right? Like you hear like that's like whenever an athlete gets interviewed, like you take it a day at a time. But like it as you say it, I'm like how it sounds cliche, like it sounds cliche to the fan,
Sounds,
but
yeah, it sounds like
it's true, right? Like it's true.
yeah,
It's
it sounds
not just sports, but like in life in general.
Yeah.
Just anything you do,
Yeah.
one day at a time.
I think about right. So I know I'm going back to spring training soon.
Yeah.
Like I think 18 days is what I got.
that's right.
So like for the next 18 days here, like I'm trying to help, and my mom's having a couple things set up for the season, and one day at a time, just trying to knock out simple things like, hey, make sure this is painted or this was straightened out or whatever it is, and one day at a time, man. All you can do is if I can knock one thing a day at a time out.
Yeah.
And make sure it's completed. That's all you can do. And when you do good at that, hopefully a couple 100 days, maybe even a row, like I said, good things happen. I mean,
yeah, no, for sure. Do you so what do you like right now during that transitionary period of like, hey, it's the off season and you have spring training coming up? Like, what do you do to keep it going? I guess to keep your arm fresh or whatnot during this time. Do you do like just regular exercises, or do you just kind of go somewhere and just start throwing the ball around? Like, how do you maintain that?
Yeah, you work out kind of throughout the whole off season as far as just weightlifting and running and stay in shape, and then you take a little bit of downtime of no throwing. So like, let's say season ends, maybe I take a couple of weeks of just nothing, right? Let the body just like recover, because at the end of the day, like, in fairness to your body, however you feel mentally, like you went through I threw 128 innings this year. Okay. Or last year, I should say.
Yeah.
So like 2 or 3 weeks off of nothing is probably like good, because your body is just like, okay, relax, recover, feel good. And then you start to work out a little bit and work out more. And then you kind of like TJ, you play catch a little bit, play catch a little more, play catch a couple more days a week. And then today was my 3rd bullpen, for example. So have another one on Monday, one more at the end of next week, and then I report the 28th. And so come to the 20th, there are a couple of bullpens there, throw to some live hitters, and then next thing you know, we're in the full ramp of spring training and then spring training games, and then you'll hone in on, feeling just being there and sharpening pitches and trying to get batters out, and next thing you know, the season starts, and there you go.
There you go. It goes by quick, right?
It goes by quick, man. So quick. It's unbelievable.
Man, no, exactly. All right, Colton, we're gonna end it now, but man, I want to thank you so much, even after my technical issues, for hanging out with us, man, for this much. You were, thank you for just being so open with us, talking to us, no matter how ridiculous our questions sounded. You were on it, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for being such a great guest.
No, man, I appreciate you guys having me on. Best of luck with the podcast. Awesome podcast, and keep in touch, man. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, for sure. We definitely got to do the taco thing and the pub places, bro.
Steak night.
But that's awesome, yeah, man. I appreciate you guys having me on. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, for sure. All right, don't go just yet. I'm just gonna end the show. And that's the case, guys. Please follow Colton Gordon on his Instagram account to keep up with him. At Colton Gordon 10 IG account. He's got some phenomenal stuff, and I'm definitely gonna keep watching your stories out during spring training or whatever. I'm sure it's gonna be awesome. So
yeah, wow.
Again, yeah, for sure. So please follow Colton Gordon at Colton Gordon 10. And don't forget to spank that subscribe button on our YouTube channel. We need that's right. Spank it so hard you leave a mark. Hit us up. We are trying to get to 500 subscribers on our YouTube account. We're trying to go for 1,000 this year. So hey, what better way to end 2024? I know I feel like I'm talking about the end of 2024 with 1,000 subscribers for the Just Fans podcast, guys. So please help us out. Again, don't forget to spank that subscribe button. Do the hand motion, Rios. Wow, you're so why are you so stiff, bro? Like
I threw out my back yesterday, so I'm in a lot of pain.
He gets Tommy John from it.
It's a long time, man.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, Colton, don't go just yet, bro. That's gonna be it for us, guys. Thanks again. Don't forget to check us out Saturday when we do our live reaction to the Texans versus Browns game, playoff game. Good, let's go Texans. Let's go Astros. Let's go Colton Gordon. Big season for you this year, sir. All right.
Man, thank you guys. For real.
Not a problem. All right, guys. That's gonna be it. See y'all later. Peace.
And I don't know what you thought, but right here, dog, we gon' rep the squad. Got HU, I might fit it, then on my jersey, you gon' know where I'm from. This Houston, Texas, still rolling heavy, stay rapping.